Welcome to the No Views News. This program was created on Thursday, May 6th, at 3:25 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, by Zeno Reader. There are 680 headlines from 106 feeds we check to build this automated report. Welcome to No Views, daily automated podcast news. The headlines in this super unknown daily news summary do not imply fact-checking or endorsement of ideas. The first headlines are from the current most popular news site, Yahoo News, with 175 million estimated monthly unique visitors. Mitch McConnell, asked about the Liz Cheney purge, says 100% of my focus is on stopping Biden. Dubai luxury home market soars as world's rich flee pandemic. Hong Kong, Joshua Wong jailed over ban Tiananmen vigil. After aging out of foster care system, 19-year-old is adopted by former caseworker. India hits another grim record as it scrambles oxygen supply. Ramadan in China, faithful dwindle under limits on religion. Ukraine wants aid, NATO's support from Blinken's visit. General, China's Africa outreach poses threat from Atlantic. Republicans promote pandemic relief they voted against. Australian mom convicted of killing 4 children seeks pardon. The next headlines are from the second most popular news website at this time, with 150 million unique monthly visitors, Google News. Scottish election could boost independence movement, The New York Times. Cowboys improved C4 electric bike launches alongside first steps through model, The Verge. India hits another grim record as it scrambles oxygen supply, Associated Press. Seeing lights in the sky, SpaceX's Starlink satellite seen across Arizona sky, ABC 15 Arizona. Melinda Gates receives billions from Cascade, Bill Gates' biggest asset, NDTV. John Coons says Aaron Rodgers trying to take destiny into his own hands, NBC Sports. Nintendo's new $30 DIY game is Game Builder Garage, Engadget. Caitlyn Jenner tells Hannity Bruce would not have been able to run for governor, I had too many secrets, Fox News. U.S. Space Command tracks Chinese rocket for uncontrolled re-entry from orbit, Reuters. Internal emails reveal how badly Apple wanted to keep Netflix using in-app purchases, The Verge. The following headlines are from the third most popular news website, with 110 million unique monthly visitors, The Huffington Post. Furious Meghan McCain's brutal nickname for Trump lights up Twitter. Firing of Atlanta officer who shot Rayshard Brooks reversed. Jimmy Kimmel spots the weirdest part of sweaty Teddy Cruz's awkward Trump photo. The solar industry has more union jobs than previously thought. South Carolina House adds firing squad to execution methods. Liz Cheney says history is watching as GOP leaders try to punish her for telling the truth. Caitlyn Jenner says she's all for Trump's wall. Rep. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez mocks Senator Ted Cruz's great dinner with Trump. Black progressives get personal and political about right-wing voter suppression. Lil Nas X explains why it feels good to prove people wrong. The next headlines are from the fourth most popular news website, with 95 million estimated unique monthly visitors, CNN. Police say officer fatally strikes teen cyclist. Historic black educator commemorated. Unmarked police car hit by stolen car ran stop sign. Storm chaser followed tornado path to crash. Committee passes medical marijuana bill. Dream of starting towing company hits snag. Residents nervous about having no more police. Family of 10-year-old boy shot in head will fight. A veteran is using Legos instead of drugs and alcohol. Schumer outlines US Canada travel plan. The next headlines are from the fifth most popular news website at this time, with 70 million estimated unique monthly visitors, The New York Times. Atlanta officer who fatally shot Rayshard Brooks is reinstated. India's COVID crisis needs a new lockdown. Pfizer vaccine protects against severe disease of some variants, studies say. Federal judge strikes down eviction moratorium. Protests explode in Colombia, leaving at least 24 dead. Biden's Taiwan policy is truly, deeply reckless. New York City board votes to consider extending rent freeze. With no hitter, John Means opens up a world of possibilities. His ship vanished in the Arctic 176 years ago. DNA has offered a clue. Good riddance to Trump on Facebook? The following headlines are from the sixth most popular news website, with an estimated 65 million monthly unique visitors, Fox News. Facebook ban remains, but somehow Trump is still driving the news. Michigan HS baseball player dies after freak accident at second base. Court upholds Newsom's use of emergency powers during COVID-19 outbreak. Arizona Good Samaritans talk about saving trooper from burning car last month. Los Angeles Police Department officer suspected of possessing child porn. Former New Jersey police officer reacts to firing over BLM post, law enforcement in a sad state of affairs. Arizona's Sinema says not enough being done by federal government at border. D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser considering allowing dancing for vaccinated people. Prince William recounts adorable birthday story about daughter Princess Charlotte. Greg Gutfeld, Democrats don't care about the dying cities because they care too much about power. You are hearing today's top news headlines and more. Today is Thursday, May 6th. The next headlines are from the seventh most popular news website, with 63 million estimated monthly unique visitors, CBS News. Wells Fargo Championship Preview, Quail Hollow tests you from the first hole, says CBS Sports' Frank Nubilo. What if your allergy medicine isn't kicking in? How can you find faster relief? Low-carb, high-flavor summer recipes for the whole family from Keto Barbecue. Actress Rebel Wilson talks about struggles with infertility. Preview, Kids Say the Darndest Things premieres tonight on CBS. California bar owner accused of selling fake COVID vaccine cards. Tiffany Haddish on CBS. Kids say the darndest things, the children are hilarious, insightful and a little too grown. COVID bandit strikes again, gives $4,600 tip at Flagstaff House restaurant in Colorado. The next headlines are from the eighth most popular news website, with an estimated 53 million monthly unique visitors, Mail Online, the Daily Mail. Lawless London, teenage boy, 15, fights for life after knife attack in Chelsea Harbour. Family man in his 30s is stabbed to death as police arrest 5 children aged 13 to 16. Nailed it, SpaceX launches and lands its Starship SN-15. Nick Cayman's ex Amanda Decadenette pays tribute to the late model. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's son Archie's second birthday, Queen leaves well wishes. Piers Morgan, leave Snow White's prince alone, you insufferable woke brats. Suffolk mum set alight after pub heater blast says drunk man throwing ethanol caused the explosion. Huge blaze rips through scrapyard near London City Airport. Super Thursday is here as poll gives Tories a 10-point lead. COVID testers can no longer get free lunches. The following headlines are from the ninth most popular news website, with an estimated 47 million monthly unique visitors, The Washington Post. This is The Washington Post World News Feed. Facebook's battle with errant world leaders has only just begun. Hong Kong activist Joshua Wong sentenced for Tiananmen vigil. EU to let US, Canada, Norway join military mobility project. South Korea raids activists' office over anti-North leaflets. Pivotal in our fight, world reacts with hope over US move to waive vaccine patent protections. COVID-19 live updates. India breaks its own records again with 412,000 new cases and nearly 4,000 deaths in 24 hours. French FM in Lebanon with a message of great firmness. Palestinian arrested over West Bank attack after 3-day chase. Man's barbecue binge sparks new virus curbs in Sydney after month without cases. The Biden administration starts to unwind Trump's border legacy. The next headlines are from the 10th most popular news website, which has an estimated 42 million monthly unique visitors, The Guardian. This is The Guardian's U.S. news feed. Coronavirus Live News. WHO says U.S. support for vaccine patent waiver heroic. India sees new case record. Why do people who work with their hands tend to make less money than those who use their heads? Adrian Chiles. Hillary Clinton, there has to be a global reckoning with disinformation. Apple's review, quirky Athenian amnesia mystery. FBI raid exposes Giuliani and signals widening criminal search, experts say. I seek a kind person, The Guardian ad that saved my Jewish father from the Nazis. Portland Thorns Olivia Moultrie, 15, files lawsuit for right to play in NWSL. Jared Haynes sentenced to 5 years and 9 months in prison for rape of a woman in 2018. Rock That Body, how the Mugler tattooed to shaping pop. How melting glaciers have accelerated a shift in Earth's axis. The following headlines are from the 12th most popular news website, with an estimated 36 million monthly unique visitors, ABC News. Prosecutors defend nightly sleep checks on Ghislaine Maxwell. SpaceX launches, land Starship in first successful flight. Judge strikes down CDC's authority to uphold federal eviction freeze. San Francisco women stabbed amid wave of attacks on Asians. Uber demand jumps as delivery grows, ride-hailing recovers. Texas Senate advances bill allowing handguns without license. The next headlines are from the 13th most popular news website, with an estimated 35 million monthly unique visitors, the BBC News. UK sends Royal Navy ships to patrol Jersey amid fishing row with France. Antony Blinken, US will respond to reckless Russian acts. COVID, US backs waiver on vaccine patents to boost supply. SpaceX Starship prototype makes clean landing. Philippines Duterte apologizes for taking unapproved China jab. India COVID, government says new variant linked to surge. South Africa, ANC in power struggle over corruption allegations. Broadway tickets to go on sale for September reopening. Safe Sweden faces up to wave of women's killings. The following headlines are from the 14th most popular news website, with an estimated 34 million monthly unique visitors, USA Today. Ramadan in Xinjiang, faith wanes in religious curbs. My heart breaks for our student, 4 people killed after small plane crashed into Mississippi home. Caitlyn Jenner to Hannity, I move on from critics. Rome jury convicts 2 American men to life in prison in slaying of police officer. Today in history for May 6th. We need to feel safe where we live. 2 Asian women stabbed in downtown San Francisco, police say, suspect arrested. Clashes as Colombians stage mass protests. California bar owner who sold fake COVID-19 vaccine cards for $20 to face felony charges, the office says. Cheney's views on Trump puts her GOP post in peril. SpaceX launches Starship in first successful flight. The next headlines are from the 15th most popular news website, with an estimated 35.5 million monthly unique visitors, the LA Times. Woman charged with starting 63,000-acre Delta wildfire in 2018. LA Council President Nuri Martinez seriously considering a bid for mayor, advisor says. Mother who survived Orange mass shooting but lost 2 children leaves hospital. Los Angeles Police Department officer arrested on child pornography charges. Ortega Highway closed due to wildfire in Cleveland National Forest. Photojournalists sue Los Angeles Police Department, LA County Sheriff over alleged abuses at protests. State Appeals Court upholds Governor Newsom's emergency powers during pandemic. Kobe Bryant crash photos didn't violate Vanessa Bryant's privacy, county argues. No more pajamas, back-to-school fashion gives students a sense of hope after pandemic. Orphan ducklings find lettuce and love at Huntington Beach Wildlife Center. We hope you are enjoying this news podcast. Today is Thursday, May 6, 2021. You just heard from the top 15 most popular news websites in the world. More, from other news sources, is up next. Next, Reddit World News. Reddit is a user collective which claims over 430 million active users per month, and these are the top voted stories today. American students jailed for life for murder of police officer in Rome. Indian delegation at G7 in London forced to self-isolate after testing positive on arrival despite testing negative before departing India. China says it will indefinitely suspend all activities under the China-Australia Strategic Economic Dialogue due to Australia's Cold War mindset and ideological discrimination. BC ranchers, loggers unite in fight against plan to log rare inland old-growth rainforest, proposal to log heartbreakingly beautiful Roche Valley, home to trees up to 1,000 years old, would require building a road through a protected area. Honeywell fined $13 million for sharing military specs with China. Xinjiang, China blasts New Zealand Parliament for severe abuses declaration, warns of potential harm to relationship. The situation is out of control, 24 dead in anti-government protests in Colombia. Russia keeping 80,000 troops at Boulder amid NATO exercise, U.S. officials say. Hundreds of women gather in Gujarat for religious processions to eradicate COVID, as a local priest claims that the pandemic is the result of angry gods. Vaccine tourism, Canadians fly south for shot as U.S. demand falls. Eddie Gallagher says Navy SEALs use dying enemy for medical practice. Africa's oldest human grave unearthed, 3-year-old, buried 78,000 years ago. Moderna says COVID booster shot generates promising immune response against variants found in South Africa, Brazil. UK to send 2 Royal Navy boats to Jersey after France threatens blockade of island port. Yair Lapid receives mandate to form Israeli government, oust Netanyahu. The next headlines are from Forbes. History of Women's FA Cup Final celebrated in bookmarking 50th anniversary. Investors pour millions into Wainwright and HWY Wallace freight trucking needs explode. The making of Hong Kong's largest online landlord, HKTV. Come As You Are, Nirvana classics reimagined with a trance twist. Cricket Saudi World Cup set to increase to 14 teams in a compromise. Tucker Carlson says vaccine-related deaths may be abnormally high, but vaccines haven't been linked to deaths. Zynga buys chart boost to drive online ads, reports record quarterly revenue. EU Blood and Guts results, winners, news and notes on May 5, 2021. Telemundo launches new studios to develop streaming content for Latino audiences. CNN's Jim Acosta, Donald Trump is like a snake in search of a sewer. The next headlines are from Nature.com. How many COVID deaths are acceptable in a post-pandemic world? In shock move, U.S. backs waiving patents on COVID vaccines. COVID research, a year of scientific milestones. Why some researchers oppose unrestricted sharing of coronavirus data. Previously unknown type of protein cross-link discovered. Prediction for magnetic moment of the muon informs a test of the Standard Model of particle physics. A child's grave is the earliest known burial site in Africa. Global mRNA dosage control of embryonic germ layer specification. A lysine-cysteine redox switch within nose bridge regulates enzyme function. Distinct fission signatures predict mitochondrial degradation or biogenesis. The World Population Update. Currently, we are increasing by over 220,000 people a day, expecting to reach 8 billion in 2023. At the time this report was generated, the population was estimated to be 7,703,281,935 humans. Worldometers.info says there are 195 countries at this time and, of those, the top 10 with the largest populations are, in order, China, India, the United States, Indonesia, Pakistan, Brazil, Nigeria, Bangladesh, Russia, and then Mexico. The next headlines are from Variety. Oscar winning another round producer among 20 selected for Producers on the Move lineup. Caitlyn Jenner calls Donald Trump a disruptor, says she is all for the wall in Sean Hannity interview. End of the world comedy preppers now filming in Australia. Disney Plus documentary Shipwreck Hunter starts shooting in Australia. LL Cool J's Rock the Bells wants to create hip-hop's version of classic rock. The Masked Singer reveals the identity of Rob Rapine. Here's the star under the mask. John David Washington 2 headline Gareth Edwards' new sci-fi movie True Love. Frank McRae, actor in License to Kill and Last Action Hero, dies at 80. Harvey Weinstein seeks to recoup $1 million from ex-lawyer Jose Baez. Bebe Rexha expands on her fluid sexuality, teases tryst with unnamed celebrity. The following headlines are from NPR, National Public Radio. Google adapts to long-term telework, offers employees hybrid work week. Man arrested in San Francisco stabbing up 2 Asian women. They desperately need COVID vaccines, so why are some countries throwing out doses? A fancy bottle of wine that went to space can be yours for perhaps $1 million. Biden backs waiving international patent protections for COVID-19 vaccines. Ron DeSantis pushes coastal resilience while doing little to tackle climate change. Ed Ward, rock critic and historian, dead at 72. Why is India running out of oxygen? Netanyahu opponent, Yair Lapid, given 4 weeks to form new government in Israel. Alison Bechdel takes on exercise trends in The Secret to Superhuman Strength. The following headlines are from The Week. Brothers meet for the first time after spending nearly 60 years apart. Caitlyn Jenner discusses her politics with Sean Hannity at her private jet hangar in Malibu. First migrant parents separated under Trump reunited with their children under Biden. Department of Justice sends letter detailing concerns over Arizona election audit. SpaceX successfully lands Starship spacecraft. In Colorado, children make up 26% of new COVID-19 cases. 2 American students found guilty of killing Italian policemen. Liz Cheney, GOP must steer clear of dangerous Trump cult of personality. The following headlines are from the Texas Observer. In Gainesville, the past is repeating itself. The next headlines are from Physics Buzz News. New report finds power sector is halfway to zero emissions. The next headlines are from Universe Today. SpaceX's N-15 Starship prototype nails it. Dark matter could change the temperature of exoplanets, allowing us to detect it. These are the news headlines for today, Thursday, May 6th. This podcast is produced only in English at this time. As of 2020, the Ethnologue reference lists 7,117 different human languages, with English being the 3rd most common, after Mandarin Chinese and Spanish. The following headlines are from earthsky.org. SpaceX Starship prototype soars 6 miles up, then lands upright. Photos from 2021's Eta Aquarioid meteor shower. Map of Milky Way halo reveals dark matter ocean. Florida bill says companies like SpaceX retain ownership of fallen hardware. The length of a day on Venus is always changing. The next news is from Politico. G7 takes aim at China over Taiwan Strait. U.S. Justice Department worried about Arizona vote recount. Jenner, I am all for the wall at the border. Opinion: Facebook's speech policies are even more arbitrary than we thought. Trump's not back on Facebook, and Republicans are even angrier. Watch, the GOP civil war is heating up. Opinion: the real reason Republicans want to oust Liz Cheney. Location, location, location. Picking a spot for Biden-Putin summit is a tricky task. Cheney doubles down and opposite the editorial page, says Republicans are at a turning point. Cult of personality, House Dem sees on Cheney chaos. The next headlines are from the Sydney Morning Herald in Australia. Top racehorse trainer Kim Watt to fight animal cruelty charge. One of Australia's most powerful unions is splintering as leaders fight for control. Very strong, NAB chief says regions fueling loan growth. Dozens of Sydney bus services cutting eastern suburbs transport overhaul. Follow the leader, Labour's mass walkout amid question time chaos. Victorians from NSW exposure sites ordered to quarantine. Porter seeks court order to keep parts of ABC defense confidential. Sayutu beat Zerafi by knockout, predicts Horn. Minister vetoes advice to loan $280 MTO wind farm but company to push ahead. Yes, bank dividends are back, but let's not party like it's 2019. The next headlines are from MarketWatch. The moneyest, my ex-husband moved in, he pays $150 for cable, his only expense, and gives me the silent treatment if I ask him to pay for dinner. Tax guy, how do nanny taxes work? They're complicated, but skipping them is a mistake. Dispatches from a pandemic, life turns on a dime. She donated $950 from her first stimulus check to a food bank, then received a cancer diagnosis. Hand washing rose, then fell. During COVID-19, are U.S. hygiene standards slipping? One prediction of returning to work post-COVID, unpredictable and potentially chaotic. Why are Karens so angry? MarketWatch first take, Uber investors finally see the costs of treating drivers as employees, and the stock is falling. The moneyest, I have a mundane first world problem, should I buy $30,000 bracelet during a global pandemic? Complaints about mortgage servicers are soaring as millions of Americans still cannot make their monthly payments. Bill and Melinda Gates are among America's largest private landowners, here's what's at stake. Next, the top stories about patents and inventions. In shock move, U.S. backs waiving patents on COVID vaccines, Nature.com. Chinese duo nominated for fingerprint solution, ChinaDaily.com CN, China Daily USA. Public health must be the highest law, The Wire Science. Fuchs wins ruling invalidating Quakers mining patents, lawyerly. 6 properties added to N8 Register of Historic Places, The Union Leader. What ideas trigger an obligation to assign, the National Law Review. Palo Alto Networks, centripetal patent claims are overly broad, ineligible, SC Magazine. Biorad ruling highlights IP assignment clause limits, Law 360. Vietnam patent law, litigation and enforcement, Lexology. USF professor who harnessed the power of cactuses is a top Florida inventor, Tampa Bay Times. The next headlines are from Quartz. From coronavirus to career, calls to a mental health helpline show what Indians are anxious about. The Indian government has ordered its vaccine doses in fits and starts. Why is India, the world's largest vaccine producer, running short of vaccines? Even as cities reopen, Uber is continuing to see demand for delivery. In Peloton's wild ride, a treadmill recall is one more obstacle. The pandemic is giving Netflix its long-awaited chance to be in movie theaters. Rasputin. India's COVID-19 vaccination program is alarmingly behind schedule. Americans went on a record buying spree at shoe stores in March. Berkshire investors are ready for a future after Buffett. The following headlines are from Tech Dirt. Huge news, U.S. Gov agrees to support intellectual property waiver to help fight COVID. Content moderation case studies, how to moderate world leaders justifying violence, 2020. Cable's broadband monopoly continues to protect it from TV cord cutting. What if the media and politicians try to hold a techlash, and no one joined them? The Oversight Board's decision on Facebook's Trump ban is just not that important. Daily Deal, Introduction to Coding with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. If you're going to defend a satirical song from a copyright lawsuit, don't try a bunch of stupid alternative arguments first. Wall Street Journal editorial tries to pretend that fixing repair monopolies is bad for your health. Trump shows why he doesn't need Twitter or Facebook, as he launches his own Twitter-like microblog. We are now about 1/3 of the way through this daily news headlines podcast, a free service. Here, next, are the top trending keywords in Google web searches for today, a different window on world events. Josh Duggar, Therese Gibson, Bruce Jenner, Son of Sam, Drew Robinson, Real Madrid vs Chelsea, Adele, SpaceX, Suzanne Morphew, John Means. The next headlines are from RT, the first Russian news station in English. Canada approves Pfizer vaccine for children aged 12-15 after trial shows 100% efficacy in young teenagers. High global demand sends Russian Urals crude oil price soaring. China suspends economic dialogue with Australia indefinitely amid spat over Belt and Road Initiative. South Carolina House okays bill reviving firing squads as execution method for death row inmates. Nightmare on Zuckerberg Street, Facebook wants to make sure you have the right friends with hyperlocal neighborhoods feature. Wrong answer, Big Pharma group up in arms after Biden signals support for profit-threatening patent waiver on COVID vaccines. Starship has landed, watch Elon Musk's rocket touchdown without exploding. Hazard hammered for appearing to celebrate on the pitch with Chelsea players as Zidane insists pride in Real Madrid defeat, video. 2 American tourists who killed Italian policemen found guilty and sentenced to life in prison. Istanbul is blue, after 9 years, Roman Abramovich has a Champions League final again after Chelsea stormed past Real Madrid. The next headlines are from Zero Hedge. Le Pen cleared of breaking hate speech laws for posting images of ISIS atrocities. Where the EU exports its waste. Russia is prepared to disconnect from SWIFT payment system, Foreign Ministry. China indefinitely suspends economic dialogue with Australia as relations continue to deteriorate. Aldous Huxley foresaw art despots, Fauci, Gates, and the vaccine crusaders. Record high lumber prices send portable sawmill searches to the moon. The curious case of the Asian American victim. Kansas City follows West Coast progressives in building village for homeless. Losing Texas candidate issues warning, 2022 could be major setback for Democrats. Number of seniors tapping Social Security plummets as excess deaths spike during pandemic. The following headlines are from Al Jazeera, Middle East News. Third COVID wave in India inevitable, warns top Gov scientist. LRA Commander Dominic Ongwen faces war crimes sentence. Seafarer rescue, large brands adopt checklist to bring crew home. China suspends economic dialogue with Australia as ties worsen. HK's Joshua Wong gets 10 more months in jail over June 4th assembly. COVID restrictions return to Sydney as mystery case investigated. The Starship has landed, SpaceX nails reusable craft touchdown. India's worst COVID record, over 400,000 new cases, 3,980 deaths. WHO says Sinovac COVID vaccine effective but some data lacking. Malaysian arts jostle with draconian laws, conservative attitudes. The next headlines are from Breitbart. Judge in Roger Stone case rebukes Bill Barr over Mueller memo. Liz Cheney turns to establishment media to save herself from political defeat. Exclusive, Rip Chip Roy sends letter to Texas House Speaker and Lieutenant Governor encouraging passage of election integrity bill. Chiefs of nation's 3 largest school districts have resigned. Officer Garrett Rolfe, who shot Rayshard Brooks, has his job back. Pentagon chief believes military leaders should make diversity a personal commitment. Exclusive special interests funded $110K plus of globe-trotting lavish travel for Democrat Ron Kind. Pelosi, our chances of holding the House would be better if we pass H.R. 1. Warren, we need regulations on tech to ensure we can actually hear the truth. Nolte, Christian adoption agency opposes interracial adoptions. The next headlines are from UPI News. Missouri man wins $50,000 lottery prize, thanks to clerk's mix-up. Watch, treasure hunter finds tourist's lost iPhone on Florida beach. Watch, Spanish confectioners recreate Picasso's Guernica in chocolate. Watch, mom's video captures 6-year-old fleeing from shark at Hawaii beach. Website Snap reviewer dream job pays $1,500 for 30 naps. Look, Arkansas police capture loose pig, avoid being ambushed. Wine aged in space for more than a year expected to sell for $1 million. Animal rescuers in Iowa fined reported loose gator was plush toy. The next headlines are from Odd, Strange and Bizarre Things. Baking hacks to get you using your oven. 5 ways to add some modern touches to your home. The following headlines are from goodnewsnetwork.org. How one developer is turning farm storage into soaring yet affordable apartments. Brave boy who was told he'd never speak is now honored in Disney storybook of Pocahontas. Farms in UK save this beautiful Duke of Burgundy butterfly from extinction. 5-year-old is a neighborhood hero for drawing colorful messages of hope on her house during lockdown. Look. Floating dandelion seeds produce vortex not noticed before by scientists. You're tuned to No Views, daily automated podcast news. This is a report for Thursday, May 6th. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Reddit Offbeat News. Japanese town spends COVID-19 funds on huge squid statue. Japan. Indianapolis homeowner files discrimination complaint after removal of black identifiers leads to $100,000 appraisal increase. Naked woman leads Arkansas police on chase, gets tackled by officer. Could the famous con man depicted in Catch Me If You Can be lying about his story? A new book suggests he is. VinFast, a Vietnamese car maker calls police on YouTuber who criticized the shitty quality of their cars. Snow days cancelled at New York City public schools. Baby named as Glynel Hilhir Israel, nicknamed Consonant. Huge Chinese rocket core falling out of control back to Earth. Malian woman gives birth to 9 babies. Parents arrested for kids missing school, they chose the remote learning option. The next headlines are from a site called The Next Web. PUBG owner teases a new Battle Royale mobile game for India. 6 things you should know about the Facebook Oversight Board. Cowboy's new e-bike is here with a new frame, fancy accessories, and more torque. Google is huzzing up Android tablets with a hub for entertaining content and games. Nintendo announces Game Builder Garage, an easy way to make your own games. Facebook's neighborhoods looks a whole lot like Nextdoor. Should the U.S. government force Facebook to host speech? Carnegie Mellon researchers trained AI to simulate our universe on a GPU. If you want to launch a computer science career, this training can get you started for just $40. Facebook Oversight Board upholds ban on Donald Trump's accounts, for now. The following headlines are from Science Daily. Antarctica remains the wild card for sea level rise estimates through 2100. The Last Battle of Anne of Brittany, isotopic study of the soldiers of 1491. Supersymmetry-inspired micro-laser arrays pave way for powering chip-sized optical systems. Repurposing tabletop sensors to search for dark matter. Crohn's disease patients have specific antibodies to human bacterial flagellants. Our immune systems blanket the SARS-CoV-2 spike protein with antibodies. Scientists model Saturn's interior, explain planet's unique magnetic field. Stabilization of the borfluorine anion with carbonase. Process for eliminating unneeded cells may also protect against cancer. Stem cells create early human embryo structure in advance for fertility research. The next headlines are from Information Week. Key courses for SHIOs in 2021. How to recruit AI talent and keep them happy. This is a reading of news headlines. This broadcast was created on Thursday, May 6th from over 100 sources, to give you a bigger picture of the news. The next headlines are from NASA News. NASA names new Chief of Staff. Media invited to virtual briefing as NASA's Webb prepares for launch. The next headlines are from the Salt Lake Tribune. Former police officer who refused a Pride Parade assignment tapes a giant vaccine syringe burning in effigy in Utah. The triple team, Jazz outspurs the Spurs with consistency of execution on both ends, regain number 1 seed. Hyper-efficient nights from Jordan Clarkson, Bojan Bogdanovic power Utah Jazz's evisceration of Spurs. Students at one of Utah's most diverse schools share their stories, dreams, talents with First Lady Jill Biden. Believe Indigenous victims of violence and get rid of mascots that dehumanize Native people, activists say. Snapshots, a quick look at Jill Biden's visit to Utah. Thrilled by Jill Biden's visit, West Siders plead for immigration reform. Utah's largest collection of street art will gain 10 new murals in May. Catholic bishops who want to deny Biden communion may have to reckon with the Pope. University of Utah treated a man who developed blood clotting after receiving Johnson & Johnson vaccine. The next headlines are from Slashdot, tech news for nerds. Starlink satellite internet service gets 500K pre-orders. Oxford study finds no link between technology use and mental health problems. American schools' phone apps send children's info to ad networks, analytics firms. Apple puts more advertisements in App Store after a tracking ban. Windows Defender bug fills Windows 10 boot drive with thousands of files. Witcher game developer quits company over bullying claims. GM expects to offer personal self-driving vehicles to consumers this decade. College student sues Proctorio after source code copyright claim. Entire U.S. West Coast now covered by earthquake early warning system. Signal tried to use Instagram ad to display the data Facebook collects and sells. Facebook banned Signal's account. The next headlines are from Fox St. Louis. What does a typical day look like for St. Louis' new mayor? An emotional Bacchus expresses gratitude after final game in St. Louis. The surprising reason why some East St. Louis residents are stuck in the flood zone. Rockwood Teachers Union asks for harassment protection over racial inclusion curriculum. Text messaging and video sharing expected to be part of future Illinois 911 system. Chesterfield Amphitheater opens to thousands of fans for live, in-person concerts. Missouri lawmakers pass bill to close public records. Cinco de Mayo celebrations return across St. Louis. City of Alton honors Canucks employee who saved toddler's life. Mies 5, Robapine leaves the Spicy Six while remaining celebrities prepare for quarterfinals. These are the current headlines from the world's most interesting news websites. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Fox San Diego. In second season, Landon Donovan has high hopes for San Diego Loyal SC. Stadium stories, Carney's game-winning kick helped Chargers stave off futility. Cinco de Mayo holiday offers needed boost for downtown businesses. Patient struggles to get treatment amid Scripps Health cyber attack. SDSU student leaders move to change mascot from Aztec warrior. New wristbands serve as wearable vaccine card. Supervisors repeal tribal policies on expansion, liquor license criteria. San Diego County's decision to dedicate $5 million to immigrant defense a win for all, analysts say. Feds seek tips on victims of preschool teacher convicted of child sex exploitation. City starts $9 revamp of Children's Park downtown. The next headlines are from spooknews.com. More Government Spying and Lying, by Judge Andrew P. Napolitano. Spy, what's happening with the S&P 500 stocknews.com. Peloton users' private account data are leaked by a software bug. Peloton users' private account data are exposed by a software bug. Spy versus Spy, the Manila Times. Air Force U-2 spy plane can send target data F-22s and F-35s. USA is on non-manufacturing PMI for APR 62.700 versus 64.300 est, prior 63.700. We are getting into cars with strangers African arguments. Blast Brigade versus the Evil Legion of Dr. Cred announced. 2022 BMW X3 spy shots, mid-cycle update coming for popular crossover. The following headlines are from Defense Blog. U.S. Air Force confirms Minuteman III intercontinental ballistic missile test failure. U.S. Air Force is one step closer to receive autonomous unmanned combat aircraft. Lockheed Martin receives $51 in support of the French Air Force C-130 aircraft. U.S. Air Force sent more B-52H bombers to support withdraw troops from Afghanistan. Lockheed Martin makes a major breakthrough in future communications for joint warfighting. F-16's pilots receives unprecedented level of situational awareness. The next headlines are from SUP China, top news about China. Tencent execs Youth Day message for China's youth, you are sleeping too much. Chinese podcast app Ximalaya to go public. Puppies and kittens are the latest casualties of China's blind box craze. The Resider, Auto family's pride and downfall. Can Chinese liquor companies convince Chinese youth to drink traditional baijiu? U.S.-China relations at the time of the Chinese Exclusion Act. This is the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today, in the GMT time zone, is Thursday, May 6, 2021. Now, more headlines. The next headlines are from KRON4 San Francisco. Bay Area works to close gap in COVID-19 vaccine disparity. 21 students at East Bay High School test positive for COVID-19. San Jose police investigate 15th homicide this year. They racially profiled me, boy falsely accused of stealing sandwich at SF Safeway. Demand for butt implants rose 22% during pandemic. How close is San Francisco to herd immunity against COVID-19? Crews contain brush fire in Discovery Bay. Facebook has 6 months to decide if Trump can return to its platforms. Caitlyn Jenner rolls out policy plans and run for governor. Disney releases Rainbow Collection for Pride Month. The next headlines are from the Daily Herald. John Means throws no-hitter, Orioles beat Mariners 6-0. Yang makes first start in majors, Rangers beat Twins 3-1. Asian stocks mixed, echoing Wall Street sentiments on pandemic. Bucks edge Wizards 135-134 to earn fourth straight victory. Police Oversight Agency chief resigns. Public funds for a stadium on Arlington Park site, at least one state lawmaker open to it. House Speaker says minority representation key to remap effort. Police, news is found at York intended as message about students' mental health. Another residential development proposed northeast of Charlestown Mall. Suburban superintendents honored for distinguished service. The following headlines are from Seattle PI. Washington's scenic North Cascades Highway reopens today. The next alerts are from the Global Disaster Alerting and Coordination System, a cooperative effort from disaster managers worldwide. Drought is ongoing in Afghanistan, China, Iran, Kazakhstan, Pakistan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan. Drought is ongoing in Iraq, Jordan, Syria, Turkey. Drought is ongoing in Angola, Congo, DRC. Drought is ongoing in China, India, Nepal. Drought is ongoing in Madagascar. Drought is ongoing in Canada, United States. Drought is ongoing in Mexico. Drought is ongoing in Mozambique. Drought is ongoing in Algeria, Libya, Tunisia. Drought is ongoing in Bolivia, Brazil. You are hearing the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today is Thursday, May 6th in the Greenwich Mean Time zone. Headlines here were found today in news feeds from around the world, but we do focus on the USA, one of the world's current 195 countries. Now, more news. The next headlines are from ABC Houston. COVID's toll on the U.S. projected to drop sharply by end of July, CDC says. Family grateful for Texas City PD's handling of 911 call made over kids playing with Nerf guns. Son still pushing for bond reform 1 year after 80-year-old mom was stabbed to death at Walgreens. Daughter of a woman found dead in ditch. I hope whoever did it gets what they have coming. Houston Children's Charity surprises 9 families in need with wheelchair-accessible vans. Man shot and killed during altercation in Southwest Houston. The origin of Cinco de Mayo celebrations in the U.S. according to a UCLA scholar. ABC 13 exclusive, Rep. Dan Crenshaw talks emergency eye surgery and recovery ahead. I don't want to die, man battling for his life 6 months after getting COVID-19. Justice on hold 2 years after Millie Davis vanished. The following headlines are from China Post, top news about China, Taiwan and the world. No-hitter means more for John Means and emerging Orioles. Facebook's oversight board, watchdog or distraction? Can COVID-19 vaccines affect my period? Netflix series signals racial breakthrough in Italian TV. Rugby league star Haynes has spent nearly 4 years in jail. AP photos, dwindling Armenians show Easter faith in Romania. Asian stocks mostly higher on hopes for pandemic recovery. Canadian boxer Manny Pujol fighting for Olympic berth. The following headlines are from The Gothamist. Extra, Succession cannot stop, won't stop adding tall male guest stars. Broadway to resume shows for 100% capacity theaters starting September 14th. Manhattan District Attorney candidates spar in first televised debate. Pandemic fuels passage of NY bills to prevent understaffing in hospitals and nursing homes. Yankees and Mets will give free tickets to people who get vaccinated at stadiums. Coronavirus statistics, tracking the epidemic in New York. Smaller plan for 250 Water Street in South Street Seaport approved by Landmarks Commission. Stringer urges investigation of his accuser's sexual assault claims, says he cannot remember when he first met her. Pandemic side hustle dress desserts delivers delicious ice cream. Sheldon Silver furloughed from prison, returns to Lower East Side, reports. We hope you are enjoying this podcast. If you have a suggestion for a new RSS feed we should add, please leave it in a comment on our YouTube page. The next headlines are from globalissues.org. High-dose vitamin D supplements significantly reduce intensive care unit admissions and COVID-19 deaths. From the field, Uganda conflict survivor helps communities find ways forward. WHO chief hails monumental moment in COVID fight, as US throws support behind vaccine patent waiver. USA, rights expert decries wave of anti-protest laws spreading through the country. Coping with the USA-China conflict strategic procrastination. Early warning pandemic hub plan unveiled by WHO's Tedros and Germany's Merkel. Myanmar, attacks on healthcare jeopardizing COVID-19 response, UN team says. Youth voice and action critical to reforming the world's food systems. 155 million faced acute food insecurity in 2020, conflict the key driver. Unlearning during a lockdown. The next headlines are from blacklistednews.com. Facebook Oversight Board upholds permanent Trump ban for creating serious risk of violence. U.S. births fall to lowest level in a generation amid pandemic baby bust. How the U.S. government cultivated environmental and indigenous groups to defeat Ecuador's leftist Coresta movement. The following headlines are from Snopes, a fact-checking service. Did a millionaire fire his bank because it did not validate parking? Josh Duggar granted release as he awaits child porn trial. TikTok video shows saw tricycle puppets on Google Maps. Was a boy's dead mother sent a check addressed to MRS, passed away? Ceremonies, prayer mark Day of Awareness for Native Victims. Is Kyle Rittenhouse's race described differently in separate court records? Did Michael Yaden say COVID-19 vaccine will kill recipients within 2 years? Did a black woman get prison for illegal voting, while a white man got probation? Comic strip artists band together for a silly and good cause. Woman from Mali gives birth to 9 babies in Morocco. The next headlines are from factcheck.org. Meme featuring DeSantis presents misleading picture of COVID-19 and vaccine safety. We are now about 2/3 of the way through today's news headlines. When everything is working, this feed will auto-update 3 times per day. Join us daily to stay informed. The next headlines are from the Daily Beast. Trevor Noah makes fun of Trump's deeply embarrassing blog. Tucker Carlson makes BS claim 30 people every day are dying from vaccines. Here's the truth. Branson grows old while Bezos takes over space travel. The Japanese photographer who captured David Bowie's ethereal beauty. California school district regrets offering a support circle for white students after Chauvin trial. Meet the world's youngest crypto billionaire. American duo gets life in Italian prison for killing cop while on summer vacation. Healthcare exec busted for illegal 153-person Grand Canyon hike. Trump, GOP leaders, and even Liz Cheney allies say she is a dead woman walking. Biden admin goes to war with Big Pharma over COVID vax patent protections. The next headlines are from the New York Post. Diddy Gregorius Grand Slam propels Phillies to 3rd straight. Yankees give rehabbing Miguel Andujar another start in left field. Mets new hitting coach on Francisco Lindor's woes. Knicks Julius Randle has shot for something bigger than MVP. Man barricades himself inside conductor's cab on NYC train. The following headlines are from astronomy.com. Massive flare on Proxima Centauri could spell bad news for any alien life. 60 years ago, Alan Shepard became the first American in space. You're tuned to the No Views, daily automated podcast news. If you are hearing this, you found something super unknown. Congratulations. Now back to the headlines. The next science headlines are from CBS News. Examining the spread of online misinformation during COVID-19 pandemic. Biden announces new goal to vaccinate 70% of U.S. adults by July 4th as demand for shots declines. U.S. coronavirus infections continue to decline despite a slowing pace of vaccinations. NOAA's new normal climate report is anything but normal. Rural Georgia sees vaccine hesitancy as supply outweighs demand. CDC projects sharp decline in COVID-19 cases by July. Biden sets goal of fully vaccinating 160 million adults by July 4th. Scientists unsure where uncontrolled rocket debris will hit Earth. Target offers $5 to people who get vaccinated in its stores. Trillions of cicadas are about to emerge after 17 years underground. The following headlines are from alienUFOsightings.com. U.S. Army high-ranked confirms 57 alien species similar to humans that walk among us. The next headlines are from the New York Daily News. Nebraska man arrested in 1983 cold case killing of Iranian exchange student. California bar owner faces felony charges after selling fake COVID-19 vaccine cards. Eric Adams gets NYC mayoral nod from father of Sean Bell. British siblings convicted of killing man by force-feeding him chicken kebab while he slept. Self-published Scottish poet, 92, surpasses best-selling Amanda Gorman as his verse touches hearts worldwide. Drunk guy outside Kid Rock bar used his colostomy bag as a weapon, cops. AOC snarks on photo of Ted Cruz and Donald Trump dining at Mar-a-Lago. 45,000 people apply to kill bison at Grand Canyon. The fourth is with this family. Illinois parents welcome baby boy named Luke. Man arrested in stabbing of two Asian women waiting for bus in San Francisco. The following headlines are from military.com. British aircraft carrier departs on landmark deployment with Marine Corps F-35s aboard. SPC Vanessa Gillen's harasser was a known toxic leader, Army report shows. Pentagon partially reverses Trump move to elevate head of special operations. National Guard needs a break in healthcare, top brass tell Congress. Air Force's Skyborg AI system flies for first time in Mako drone. They actually listened. Mothers in uniform react to the Army's new postpartum policy. Mammoth toxic exposure push could be biggest congressional healthcare effort in years. Dayton sues Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, Defense Department for water pollution. Gallagher claims SEAL platoon agreed to practice medical procedures on dying prisoner. Space Command is tracking Chinese rocket launch junk careening wildly toward Earth. The next headlines are from the Chicago Tribune. Sidney Roberts, head of Chicago's Civilian Office of Police Accountability, announces resignation. My first instinct was to make sure TK was okay. Teens recount Englewood shooting of two high school basketball standouts. Mayor Lori Lightfoot's new deputy mayor for public safety has sided with police officers in some controversial cases, including an alleged Laquan McDonald cover-up. Body pulled from car submerged in Wolf Lake, Indiana, police say. She saved her life, and then she gets shot herself, says relative of security guard shot while helping senior at Park Manor apartment building. Officials say construction worker seriously injured at Old Copley renovation site in Aurora. The Spin, Kim Falk releases findings in internal investigation as top lieutenant resigns. Mike Madigan elephant in federal courtroom tank noodle staffer versus city, state bureaucracy. Chicago rapper G Herbo hit with new charges of lying to FBI. Endangered History, from Thompson Center to Green Book sites, group lists Illinois most endangered historic structures. Michael Madigan is elephant in courtroom as lawyers in ComEd bribery case hint more charges are coming. Former lawmakers appear before grand jury. The following headlines are from phys.org. Ice core chemistry study expands insight into sea ice variability in southern hemisphere. Open source tool can help identify gerrymandering in voting maps. First member of ill-fated 1845 Franklin expedition is identified by DNA analysis. Blue Origin will fly first crew to space in July. Researchers propose repurposing tabletop sensors to search for dark matter. Rapid rovers, speedy sends, fast-tracking terrain interaction modeling. New, almost non-destructive archaeogenetic sampling method developed. Magnetic material breaks superfast switching record. Research confirms trawl ban substantially increases the abundance of marine organisms. Searching for the supersymmetric bottom quark and its friends. Thank you for listening and for staying informed. This audio was produced today, Thursday, May 6th, in the GMT time zone. The next headlines are from the Seattle Times. Volkswagen profits jump as China leads pandemic rebound. On social media, memories pop up from a pandemic still going. NASCAR returns to roots with sleek new pony cars for 2022. The following headlines are from MercuryNews.com. O's means throws MLB's third no-hitter of season, tops M 6-0. Bay Area construction firm owner pleads guilty to workers' comp fraud. 1 killed, 1 injured in San Jose shooting. Trevino's rough inning against Toronto ends A's 3-game win streak. Erik Karlsson's goal caps comeback as Sharks beat Colorado Avalanche. Wouldn't it be smart for San Jose to have blinking traffic signals? Roadshow. San Jose trio charged in odometer rollback scheme. Tony La Russa's extra inning gaffe stings White Sox in loss. The great Lori Roberts, a legendary Bay Area DJ, has died. Atlanta officer who killed Rayshard Brooks to get job back. The next headlines are from the Washington Times. Wednesday sports in brief. The next headlines are from The Intercept. Drone whistleblower Daniel Hale jailed ahead of sentencing. Startup alternative to rental security deposits gets legal backing in Baltimore. Internal NYPD documents show cops were sent to protests with barely any First Amendment training. This is No Views, daily automated podcast news. You are hearing headlines for Thursday, May 6th, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are from Eureka Alert. Achieving high COVID-19 vaccine coverage levels by summer can prevent millions of cases. We need to build more fast charging stations, researchers say. Many consumers misinterpret food date labels, yet use them with confidence. Fear of losing health insurance keeps 1 in 6 workers in their jobs. Exercise aids the cognitive development of children born preterm. Water flora in the lakes of the ancient Tethys Ocean Islands. A surprising discovery, bats know the speed of sound from birth. Tracking down the tiniest of forces, how T cells detect invaders. The next headlines are from the Chicago Sun-Times. Anthony Rizzo's walk-off sends Cubs to series sweep over World Series champion Dodgers. Horoscope for Thursday, May 6, 2021. 4 wounded in shooting in South Shore, police. Thompson Center, Green Book sites named to annual list of Illinois most endangered historic places. Obsidian Collection buys Lou Palmer Mansion at $1.25 million, now needs zoning change. Eddie Olczyk will be Turner Sports top NHL game analyst beginning next season. 2 hurt, 1 critically, in shooting at Austin. 2 shot, 1 fatally, in West Garfield Park drive-by, police. Bob Wallace, longtime CBS 2 reporter and anchor, dies at 80. He took us all on a great ride. Cubs Jake Arrieta expects a short stint on the injured list. You are hearing today's news headlines. These headlines are for Thursday, May 6, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are from the Houston Press. Hidalgo and Turner cancel events with Houston's biggest business group over silence on Texas voter bills. The Weird Wound Graveyard in the shadow of I-45. 2 weeks of legal silence. What's next for Deshaun Watson? Weighing the floor and ceiling of the Rockets' Kevin Porter, Jr. The art car parade rolls indifferently this year. Houston Concert Watch 5/5, Sarah Jeff, Molly Tuttle and more. The next headlines are about world records making news. Sarah, 10-year-old Indian, creates world record, Ani News. India sets new COVID world record as oxygen demand jumps 7-fold, Yahoo News. Another world record for MR, incredible, News 24. Tenor Neil Lachman awarded Guinness World Record for major operatic feat, Opera Wire. Penshaw world record holder breaks his record and attempts 5 more, the Northern Echo. Lego world record attempt at Invercargill Brick Show, Stuff Co. NZ. Teenager Yu Yiding lowers world junior record twice in 2 days, China Daily USA. North Ridgeville Lake Ridge Academy gives good effort in failed attempt to break world record, newsherald.com. 12-year-old boy constructs the world's tallest popsicle stick structure, Guinness World Records. Guinness World Record holder collects 20,000 fast food toys, CGTN. The next headlines are from Gizmodo. Netflix's Awake trailer has a worldwide sleeping disorder. Billboard is partnering with Twitter to rank music in a new, fun way. Not everyone is getting great service with Starlink. Star Wars, The Bad Batch producers discuss fighting back against Order 66. Twitter will beg you to send nicer tweets. Conservatives demand Supreme Court overrule fake Facebook court, others weigh in. Marvel's new Loki trailer assures you the God of Mischief is doing great. We need 6 times more minerals to meet our clean energy goals. Turns out Jeff Goldblum's an absolute badass at playing Dungeons and Dragons. Invest in the internet, you cowards. What place in the world had the hottest and coolest temperatures today? According to ElDoradoWeather.com, the hottest place on Earth in the past 24 hours was Nadi in Fiji at 127.58 degrees Fahrenheit or 53.1 degrees Celsius. The coldest recorded weather temperature on Earth in the past 24 hours was University WIID in Dome, Fuji at 32 degrees Fahrenheit or 0 degrees Celsius. The following headlines are from Ars Technica. Severe vulnerabilities in Dell firmware update driver found and fixed. Twitter's latest RoboNag will flag harmful language before you post. SpaceX successfully lands a Starship test flight. Google tries to resurrect Android tablets with entertainment space. Biden backs plan to accelerate vaccine production by waiving patents. At trial, Epic and Apple squeeze Microsoft over Xbox's cloud restrictions. Study, using Apple's night shift to improve your sleep, don't bother. Data leak makes Peloton's horrible, no good, really bad day even worse. Appeals court allows parents to sue Snap over 100 miles per hour car crash. AMD's upcoming flagship GPUs should be 3x faster than RX 6900 XT. The following headlines are from Raw Story. Jimmy Kimmel mocks Trump's claim that his blog is a place to speak freely, since people cannot even comment on it. How many people die after watching Tucker Carlson? Fox News host blasted after implying the COVID vaccine kills 30 daily. Masked man loaded and brandished a gun during Zoom call about University of Texas alma mater song. Watch, Joe Manchin goes down in flames when confronted with McConnell's pledge to totally obstruct Biden. Mad Dow cracks up laughing at new Arizona GOP conspiracy theory about bamboo ballots from the southeast. Trump is a snake in search of the sewer in the aftermath of his social media banishment, Jim Acosta. Busted, FBI tracks down New Jersey Capitol rioter after his elderly mother gossips about him to a friend. MSNBC host hilariously ridicules Republicans Ted Cruz and Kevin McCarthy for debasing themselves for Trump cult. Miami women slash man after he claimed Ron DeSantis said he didn't have to wear a mask. Trump believes it is not his call to help Rudy Giuliani with his legal expenses, report. The next headlines are from Mother Jones. Facebook Oversight Board is an elaborate public relations stunt. Rep Liz Cheney lashes out at her critical colleagues. Judge throws out nationwide eviction moratorium. Facebook made sure its oversight board couldn't give too much oversight. Facebook Oversight Board punts on chance to take a stand on Trump. Facebook Oversight Board will not restore Donald Trump back on the platform. Queen Sugar author Natalie Bass-Zile on how black farmers can help save the planet. Why not turn our airfields into solar farms? The next items are today's top search results for extraterrestrial life. David Oyelowo does triple duty as actor, producer, director of new film, The Waterman, KABC TV. SETI Institute in the news, Media Roundup, March 16 – March 31, 2021, SETI Institute. What a massive solar flare on a nearby star could mean for alien life, PBS NewsHour. Author Andy Weir in Project Hail Mary, The Planetary Society. The Belgian Franqui Prize 2021 awarded to Nicole Gillan, Eureka Alert. Daniel Libeskind will redesign Pittsburgh's Tree of Life Synagogue, Art enters Chernobyl, and more. Morning links from May 5, 2021, A-Art News. Why haven't aliens made contact? Science with Sam explains, New Scientist News. The following items are today's top search results for the term neuroplasticity. Neighborhoods kids grow up in can affect their brain development, Mirage News. UIC researcher finds possible novel migraine therapy, Eureka Alert. 4 benefits of meditation, Advanced Titan. Optogenetic pacing of medial septum provalbumin positive cells disrupts temporal but not spatial firing in grid cells, science advances. Red Light Holland receives patent pending status for find your dose customization of microdosing kits based on biometric and movement data, Yahoo Finance. UC San Diego, gene therapy in Alzheimer's disease mouse model preserves learning and memory, India Education Diary. How to raise yourself under control, The Good Men Project. Researchers use gene therapy to prevent learning, memory loss in Alzheimer's mouse model, News Medical Net. We are nearing the end of this broadcast. This report is for Thursday, May 6, 2021 in the GMT time zone. What cities are in that time zone? Well, Reykjavik, Iceland, for one. You might wonder if our server is in Reykjavik. It could be. That's it for now. Thanks for enjoying today's newsfeed headlines. This, indeed, has been a No Views, daily automated podcast newscast for Thursday, May 6, 2021. Bookmark us and tune in each day to our free automated podcast to find out what's going on, around, and, sometimes, light years, beyond the Earth. Fair use statement. News i8 is a US-based educational not-for-profit news site. We use only parts of content, in transformative ways and without market usurpation. This means you are still going to want to read the original if you are interested in it beyond the headline and any comments we make. We provide links to original sources wherever possible. If you have any copyright concern, please contact us via our About page for immediate remedy. Contact us, Zeno at XENOMAILS 2021 by News i8. All rights reserved.